Welcome to part number 33 of the NASCAR Heat 2 career. Today we are doing Xfinity at Pocono, a track which gave me a ton of problems in the truck series. Hopefully we can capitalize and kind of turn our bad Pocono luck around here in the Xfinity series. So off of turn 3 here at Pocono, coming down to take the checkered flag in our qualifying attempt. Didn't really have a great lap, so yeah, 37. Makes a lot of sense. Felt I lost a lot of time in turn 1. Definitely drove it in way too deep for the conditions. So we've got a lot of work to do in the race, but anything can happen at Pocono, and at least we out-qualified our boss, Carl Long. All right, so starting P37 on the inside, so that's already an advantage. As we accelerate through the gears, get a good start underneath Ray Black and Ty Majeski. Of course, Majeski doesn't like us. Actually, there's quite a few rivals now in this series, so we want to make sure we don't cause any more rivals than we absolutely need, as there's a big stack up going through turn 1, and we kind of get screwed there just a little bit. Majeski gets around us, Yaley alongside of us, so we need to make sure we don't make contact with Majeski. I'm a little bit worried we will here in turn 2. Is he going to chop down on me a little bit, make a little bit of contact? I hope that didn't cheese him off. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble. But yeah, we are struggling here on the bottom, which is not good. We kind of forced Yaley to the top. Majeski moves up. Now he moves down. So I think we did cheese him off a little bit. We got 9 laps to go on fuel. And in the stage, we have 4 laps to go, so we'll make it to the end of the stage number 2, no problem. And look at the run we got on Majeski. Absolutely blowing his doors off down the main straightaway here at Pocono, and driving it off into turn 1 behind Morgan Shepherd, maybe underneath Ray Black as well. So definitely we've got a car that sucks up quite well, I can tell you that. Big draft off of Ray Black, down to the inside of him. Just lifting off the gas here into turn 2, try to get that run off of the corner in behind Stephen Light. I think he's another driver that's none too pleased with me, so we'll try to dispatch of him pretty quickly here. We might, well, that was a bit of contact there. Thanks, Light, appreciate it. I don't know if that was rivalry contact or if that was just him driving into me, but regardless, Light is back through. So we'll have to draft him down the straightaway here, dive to the inside. And it's such a long straightaway that we'll do a little bit of side drafting with him. Drive it off into turn 1. He definitely came down on me there. And we run way wide in turn 1. Side by side with Light. He's going to put me up in the wall. That's not good. Well, yeah, he's definitely a rival then. That is for certain. So we've got to figure out a better way to get around Stephen Light, I can tell you that. We drive it off into turn number 2, around the outside of Morgan. Well, a little bit of contact with Morgan Shepherd. Try to clear Stephen Light here in turn 3 as he turns in on me, but we'll run the curbs and get around him. Hopefully this time we'll be clear. But no, he's coming up behind. Well, maybe he'll give me a bump draft here if he can get close enough. He's not quite close enough, but we will have turn 1, a clean entry, hopefully into turn 1. Almost 190 going in. It's a nice wide entry, lifting off, try to apex the corner. Drive around the outside of Ben Kennedy. Side by side. Oh, a little bit of contact with the wall. I was trying not to run into him. So down the Long Pond straightaway, we're going to be side by side with Kennedy. How many more laps to go? We've got 7 on the fuel, but that doesn't tell me how many more laps in the stage. We go around the outside, so we got 2 to go in the stage. 2 to go in the stage.
Clear.
So we're obviously not going to work our way to the front of the pack in this stage. But if we pit at the end of this stage, we might be able to leapfrog some guys because they won't be able to make it to the end of the next stage. So that could be interesting. We'll see what the strategy ends up looking like. As we drive off into turn 1. Turn 1 seems to be where I make up a lot of time. Not there, though. Not there. That was a poor exit. Poor exit. I'm so worried about just ramming somebody going into the turn on the apex, because that seems where they're the slowest. And I just can't get around them. So we'll get a good run on here off into turn 2. We grabbed a little bit of brake there. But a good run in behind and underneath Smithley. A little bit of contact. Down to turn 3 behind Sieg.
Clear up top.
Can we pass Sieg with no problems? Well, we're not going to be able to pass him before the end of the stage, so 30th, we gained 7 positions. But a lot of that had to do with the fact that the rivals were trying to wreck me the entire time. So everybody is pitting. So that means David is going to pit, because otherwise we're going to be going for track position. Might not be a bad idea, but whatever. We're going to go up 50% on the wedge as well. So people are always telling me to go up on the wedge on these, or not on the wedge, on the tape on these super speedways, because they're saying I'm not getting the maximum straight line speed out of it. So here we go, back to racing. Try not to change lanes before the restart, and I think we were able to do that. Get around a couple of guys, Chastain and Logano here. We'll go 3 wide into turn 1, or at least try to, as kind of bully Chastain up the track. We've definitely got some serious pack racing going on here. But we actually got through turn 1 much better than we did on the initial start. So that's a positive as we get in behind Brown here. Gave him a little bit of a bump there, working off into turn 2. Just grabbing the brakes a little bit, car a little bit loose going in. But we hold on to it. We've almost gained more positions on this one lap than we did in the entire last stage, so that's a good thing. Oh, I almost got it to stick around the outside there. It kind of bucked on me in the middle there. That's a bit annoying. So Hemrick will go back through, but we got a really, really good run here on Almirola. Can we stuff it in the middle? A little bit of contact with Hemrick. But we've got such a good run, why waste it? And now just lift off behind a net the threat. Just try to sneak underneath him. We almost did, almost did. We're going to have to get a draft, keep Hemrick behind us. We might be able to get these two, Reddick and Nat, going into turn 2 if we drive it off in here. Let's see. Yes, indeedy do. We got him. Ooh, that was close. Had to try to clear him. Now we're doing some NASCAR 15 pack racing blocking. But almost drive flat out through turn 3. Really, really drove it in deep. Got a little bit of understeer off the corner. But now down the main straightaway once again. We have a good draft behind Wallace and also good pushing from Hemrick. Let's see what we can get done here in turn 1. Way out wide, little dab of brakes. Try to get it to go down to the bottom, which we pass Mr. Wallace, and now in behind Joey Gase. Another good run down the long pond. And we'll look for a good way around Joey Gase. We'll look to the outside, just a little bit of a lift there, breathing the throttle. Oh, a little bit of contact with Gase, nothing too fancy. We could get some stage points here. How many more laps we got in the stage? 2 to go, 3 to go? As Gase decides to get up in front of me, we gave him a little bit of a shot there in the middle of the corner. But as long as we can stay in this draft here, we should be good. There you go, best lap ever from Pocono in the Xfinity Series. So we're flying right now. We drive around the outside of Joey Gase. Maybe to the outside of Kane. Well, we'll look to the inside of Kane now. Diving in behind him. Nice draft, 176, 77. Over 180 down the long pond straight. Almost 185. Not quite.
Clear.
And now around him we go, and a yellow will end the stage. So our charge ends in 17th. That's a bit disappointing. Well, we've got 6 laps left to fuel. There are 16 to go in the stage, but there are some people pitting. So I say we're going to come in. We're going to even repair the car since it's going to be a longer stop anyway. It's not going to be a huge advantage to stop now, but it'll be something. So we're 38th. We've got a lot of fast guys around us, though. And this is the second time we're restarting on the outside. So this will be interesting as we get in behind Blake Cook. And we're now halfway through the race. So we'll just push Blake Cook down the straightaway here. We want to get to the outside of Majeski as quickly as possible. And there we go, around Majeski, around Cook, maybe around Lupton. Nope, we're just going to get a little bit of bumper action going on with Lupton there. And he's not going to heed that position very easily. We're alongside the boss now. Carl Long. And almost to the outside of Lupton. We got to be really careful around the boss. We've already wrecked him once in this Let's Play. Or twice, really. Now, can we work to the outside of Stephen Light without him coming up and wrecking me? I think we can. Not quite. But we are past the guys who pitted under that yellow. So assuming it stays green, his light is really coming up the track, trying to wreck me. That was very dirty. Oh, God, and Majeski takes me out as well. Well, that's good for having all those rivals. Like, that blows. That blows. That's going to put us right at the back again. So we'll pit, repair it, and just, yeah, start last. That makes things a lot more difficult, for sure. So here we go. Back to racing again. I am not too pleased with Stephen Light, I can tell you that. So I'm going to get in behind him. I'm definitely going to try and take revenge if I can get it here. Just make a little bit of contact with Lupton there. And give Stephen Light a bit of a tap there. Majeski's going to get into us. Almost wrecked myself off of Stephen Light, so that wasn't gonna work in any universe. So we'll get in behind Majeski. We'll definitely have to pass him around the outside. He's gonna block up there. Really grab the brakes quite heavily there. And past Majeski we go to the outside of Lupton. And to the outside, all the way to the extreme outside. Pretty much a third lane here at Pocono. That doesn't really exist. Now in behind Stephen Light once again. So clearly you can't pass rivals to the outside as we give him a shot down the main straightaway. We'll give him another shot going into turn one. And around goes Stephen Light. Bye-bye, Stephen Light. Oh, he didn't. He saved it, but he lost it at the same time. So trying to get out of his way, I kind of screwed myself there for just a second. But we've got 9 laps left of fuel, and there are only 7 left in the race. So that's very interesting. Wonder if it'll finally, the fuel mileage at Pocono will finally go in my favor. Regardless, we're going to have to start moving up the field a little bit quicker than we are. So hopefully we run into less rivals as we get towards the front of the field. The car is all over the place in turn 3. Got loose behind Garrett Smithley there. How bad is the car damage? Not bad at all. 8 laps to go on fuel, 7 to go in the race. So we're right where we need to be on fuel. The problem is I suspect everybody else is right where they need to be on fuel as well. Except for those guys at the front. The guys at the front, meaning guys like William Byron and Elliott Sadler, this was what they did not need. And now suddenly they are not in a good position to make it to the end. So we dive underneath Brandon Brown. I know Logano's a rival, so we're going to have to be careful with him as we work Brown up the tracks. 3 wide with Armstrong. Not good. We almost clipped the safer barrier going into 3. I was really trying for a wide entry to try to work that third lane. Didn't quite work out for me. As we get in behind Brown, try to get a double draft off of Armstrong. There we go. Not bad. We're going to be 3 wide going off into turn 1. We're going to get a little bit of side draft action going on Armstrong. Drive it off into turn 1. Wreck Logano for no reason. Well, Logano's not going to be pleased about that, I can tell you. I can tell you that. Here comes Logano. He's going to give me a nice bump draft. Now that's not a nice bump draft. It's a very aggressive bump draft, and we go almost around. So Logano did the same thing we just did to him, so I guess that's tit for tat. That's fine, but it puts me back at the back of the pack once again. And we're going to have to work around all these cars for a second time.
Stay right there.
But this time we kind of get to work that middle lane, which is better than working that extreme outside
Still
lane.
there.
So that's much better as Brown is making some big time moves there. Going 3 wide for a brief second. Now we're going to go 4 wide. Almost. Just a little bit of contact with Armstrong. And I really don't want to drive around the outside of Logano because Logano's going to absolutely put me up in the wall. So we got to be very strategic on how we pass Logano. If we can get a good draft going here, which we do have, we can probably get him around the outside in turn 2 and not have to worry about him anymore. Which we kind of do. Now we have to do this because otherwise he's going to put us in the outside wall. We have to absolutely wreck him pretty much going down into turn 3, which we finally did. We clear him? No, we're not going to clear Logano. He's going to do that thing again. We're going to go side by side with Garrett Smithley. He's going to put us up in the wall. We're just going to drive down the straightaway in the wall. Wow, this is some serious rival action going on here. Look at this. They're going to send us to the big red truck, no doubt about it. Just absolute rivalry. And look at this. We got a car in trouble up here. That's going to cause some issues. That is causing some serious issues. I'm not sure if that was Hemrick. Looked like a light blue car. Probably Daniel Hemrick, but man. This is an interesting race at Pocono as we get way too low there in turn 2. Spark the car on the transition between the apron and the track. And now around the outside of Yaley, not quite getting there. Man, that was crazy with Logano. I can't believe that we were bouncing off each other that long. And it looks like cars maybe came into the pits, and maybe only 2. It's probably the guys who didn't pit under that yellow.
Low.
So we drive around the outside of Yaley, but didn't have a good enough run. He's probably going to get back around. It's tough now that we're not in the pack. It is very tough.
Stay right
As
there.
Yaley goes back around, and we might be able to get him here in turn 2.
Hold high.
To
Still
the
there.
outside, maybe we can get him. We're going to make a little bit of contact with Yaley. Please don't be a rival. He's not a rival yet.
Stay on
Turn
top.
3.
Stay right there.
And around J.J. Yaley we finally get. So, are there any more cars peeling off into the pits? Not yet. We're coming to 2 laps to go. So if they pit,
2 to go.
it's going to be on this lap. We move up into the top 20, 19th now. So there were some cars in the pits. So I grabbed the brakes just a little bit, and through the center of the corner, look how much time I gained on Tyler Reddick and J.J. Yaley. A ton of time. Now down the Long Pond Straight. If the field's coming in, it's coming in this lap. I don't think they are, though.
Bring her in. You're low on gas.
And I'm low on gas now. I've got 2 laps remaining. I'm going to be able to make it to the end. No doubt about it. The rest of the field, I'm shrugging my shoulders. We're going to find out. Fuel mileage racing here at Pocono. Nobody's coming in. We're still at 2 laps remaining on the fuel, so we're good.
Final lap.
How many positions do we gain as we cross the pit lane? None. But we do know the AI can run out of fuel. I've seen it happen on this track before. So we're just going to have to see. Are they going to run out? Or are we going to drive to a very, very pedestrian 19th place? We'll see. We're down to 1 lap now, but that's not a big deal. Well, here we go. We're going to have to hold off Tyler Reddick as well, which I think we're going to be able to do, unless he gets a massive run at me through turn 3. Somebody has already won the race as the crowd is cheering. So not an amazing Pocono race. And I'm going to lose 20th. because here comes Reddick down to the inside. We're going to make some huge contact coming to the line. Oh, we're going to lose 2 more positions. God almighty.
Back her down.
So, 22nd place. Probably made a mistake trying to defend that position that hard from Stephen Light, but or not Stephen Light, from Reddick, but you know, we could have done much better in this race. Just circumstances, namely the rivals wrecking me, kind of took me out of contention. So, let's take a look at Moolah and points real quick, as we're pretty close to cracking the $4 million mark in career earnings, so that's kind of cool. I wonder if there's an achievement for that. But we're 15th in the points, but still we're way up in the chase standings, so it's all good, man. Let's head back to the race shop and see where we're headed next. So, from Pocono, we are going to head on to yet another double-header weekend, but we're going to start off with the Xfinity race here at Michigan. And then, of course, as you guys probably know at this point, we're kind of doing the Monster Energy series by itself, so the next video will be Monster Energy at Michigan. So, let's do our Xfinity race at Michigan, see how well we do. So here we are at Michigan International Speedway. This is probably not going to be the kind of track that suits my car, but you know what, we'll take all the wedge out and tape the car up for qualifying, and hey, maybe a miracle will happen. Man, the car was easy flat around Michigan, so
All right.
yeah, easy flat out is not fast. We were very close to Majeski, but not quite close enough to make any kind of grounds on qualifying, so yeah, that was a wash, that's for sure. Alright, so starting alongside a rival, that's not a good start to the race. So here we go,
Green flag.
racing at Michigan. So we've got 10 laps on fuel, 6 laps in the stage.
Still there. Low,
We try to work
low.
around the outside of Ray Black Jr. Not going to quite happen there. Carl Long already falls way back in the field. So it's the Motorsports Business Management Team 1-2 here. And now Long gets away from me. So it's kind of going to be like a plate race, I guess. Everybody pretty much flat out, even though we're slightly closer on the pace in qualifying than we were in the plate races, that's for sure. Because it looks like everybody's having a little bit of struggle through there. That was interesting. It looked like the AI was all over the place, but we get a really good run off of turn 4. No, 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 Batman. Yeah, that was really bad. That was almost wrecking with the boss again. And now, since there's virtually no lifting here at Michigan, we're pretty much screwed for the remainder of this, I'm guessing. Boy, this is tragic. It's just like, bye-bye, field. Miss you. Ugh, I'm trying to think now. What can we do? How can we gain this back? There is one option we could do here. We got 4 laps to go. And the temperature is way up, so clearly I put too much tape on the grill. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to come in the pits the next time around, take the tape off the grill, get the car filled up with fuel, take right side tires only, hopefully get out in front of the pack, and then if everybody pits under the yellow, we'll be good. Alright, so 2 tires, 2 cans of fuel, tape off the grill. We'll see how long this takes. As it's not going to matter because we're going to get lapped anyway, so now we're relying on lucky dogs. We'll get a lucky dog though, especially because there's now 2 laps to go in the stage. Nobody else can pit, and I would assume if somebody crashes or whatever happens, it's not really going to matter. Carl Long somehow got past David Starr, so that's a bit annoying. But regardless, let's see if, well, the engine's definitely cooled off quite a bit. We went from 75 to 50% on the grill, so we reduced it by 12%. And now suddenly we're way faster. Either that or there's some rubber banding going on. I honestly can't tell. This almost looks like some rubber banding, which is interesting because I thought they took it out of the game. Either that or my car's just that much faster now.
Stay right there. All clear.
Interesting. I didn't think rubber banding was a part of the game anymore.
Steady.
But it almost kind of feels like we're getting a
Hold your line.
little bit of an advantage. I'm trying to hold my line. He's running into me. Well, regardless, we got 9 laps left of fuel. So if they pit, we'll get a lucky dog plus the advantage of
Caution
them
is out.
pitting. So that's the end of the stage. We'll see if they pit. Well, here's the other thing. We could just pit at the end of this stage. Yep, everybody's pitting. So do not pit. Advance the green flag. So we get back on the lead lap in last place. If I'd been able to stay on the lead lap, that would have been an advantage. But maybe I shouldn't have taken tires.
Steady.
Oh well.
Race going green. Green, green.
You live and you learn. Back to racing here at Michigan.
Hold your line.
Well, the car's definitely accelerating much better. So maybe all that tape on the grill was a bad idea.
Carlo.
Who'd have thunk it? The comment section gave me bad advice. Well, here we go, off of turn 2.
Hold your line.
Try not to get wrecked by Majeski. It doesn't matter because he's going to run into me. Now we've got to make sure he doesn't put us in the wall. Pinball effect. Well, there we go. Around we go. Oh, blow over. Oh, God, it's a big crash. Oh, well, rip us. Oh, dearie me. All right. What on earth is that all about? 40%? Oh, that's tape. That's weird. Okay. Anyway. All right. Well, after we got killed by Ty Majeski, let's try to do that again, shall we?
The race is going green.
Even though you know Majeski's probably going to be out for blood again on this restart.
You've got 20 laps left. Hold your line.
We've only got 3 laps to go in this stage.
Carlo.
At the very least, we won't have to pit, but I think the rest of the field will, so we need to make up as many, or the rest of the field won't as well, I should say.
Stay high.
So it's pretty much
Careful.
pointless. So we go 3 wide here. This looks familiar. But for whatever reason, Majeski didn't try to wreck me. I guess once they succeed in wrecking you, maybe they decide to let bygones be bygones. I don't know. So we get in behind Lupton here.
Stay high. Keep it right.
We doored Ray Black Jr. for absolutely no reason there. So 2 laps to go in stage 2. That was just me absolutely running into Majeski for
Car outside.
no reason there. Be careful on the transition. A little bit of contact with David Starr. That's not going to make me any friends. Well, we were just running at the back. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was the whole flipping into the catch fence thing.
Stay high. Hold your line.
Let's work around the outside. Problem is, we get going and then we don't have enough. Once the field kind of gets spread out, we kind of,
Clear down low.
the yellow comes out. Or we pitted or something.
Excellent lap.
So there we go. We ran our fastest lap of the race right there, but again, we're on the last lap of the stage, so it's all kind of pointless to go down to the bottom and way to the bottom. So we just need to take our lumps now on the transition from the banking, and around goes David Starr. So now we've just got to make sure that we maintain 1 position higher than the friggin' last place, I guess.
Still there.
As everybody's coming around and take the checkered flag in the stage.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
And we'll be 39th. That was no bueno. That was no bueno. So, let's pit again. We'll pit again. Screw it. Just try to get on an alternate strategy somehow. We'll give Lupton that position back. So here we go.
It's set. Nice and smooth here.
Setting up for the final
Green,
stage
green
here
flag.
at Michigan. We are back racing for 14 laps of action. We have 10 on the fuel.
Stay right there.
So we can come in for a splash at the end of this thing, where everybody else may need a little bit more than a splash. But we're getting our doors blown off for some reason. Not really sure why. We'll try to work it back here on the back straightaway. So we have a nice draft on Lupton. 190 miles an hour, 91. decent back straightaway speed. Now going to try to slice underneath everybody. This is going to be an interesting move. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Using that apron. I'm watching my speed. We're going 179, dude. Thank you. Please come again. Now we'll dive underneath Ray Black Jr. Majeski trying to wreck me. Not going to happen. I got my anti-Majeski spray around here. He probably doesn't like all the trash talk about iRacing in the last video we had with the Xfinity guys. But now suddenly, our cars kind of come alive here. We're finding the groove. And it also helps that we're on fresh tires. And we hit Stephen Light, and there goes that. Somehow I managed to save it. But we had to go down in third gear. Oh man, this is not going well for me today. This has just not been a successful video. So 12 laps to go. We've got 8 on the fuel. So again, 4 laps is the difference between our tank and the laps remaining in the race. But you would assume again that everybody's going to come in just a little bit earlier than I will. So that's what we need. We need them to come in early and for me to make up track position on them. Tire wear, it looks like it won't be an issue. Or at least not an issue in terms of getting me the final 4 laps of the race. We may have to sacrifice some mechanical grip for track position, but if we have the track position, it should be good as we cross the line here, 11 to go. I should be able to catch these guys up at some point, especially as they spread out. But again, catching them is one thing, passing them is going to be another. So you got 2.7, 2.6 seconds between us and the guys in front. And are we gaining or losing? Seems like we're losing. So in the pits, we're going to have to make up at least 2.7 seconds just in the pits to be able to even get up past 39th place. I don't like that math. That's not good math for me. But a splash of fuel should probably get us to the end, I would imagine. A quarter tank of fuel, I guess, or half a can or whatever. Should get us to the end. It should get us 4 laps. Because the fuel tank, okay, well, hold on, let's do some mental math here. No, we're probably going to have to do a half tank. Probably going to have to do a half tank. Because half tank of fuel, a full tank of fuel is 10 laps. And we've got a crash, a big crash. Oh, we're going to crash too. Well, you know what, we're going to come... I tried to get into the pits. I tried to get into the pits before the yellow came out. Oh, that would have been a huge break for me if I'd gotten into the pits. Oh, no. Well, we'll have to pit. We'll try to gain some positions here. Go 1 can of fuel, 2 tires, and repairs. We gained a couple positions. Majeski is now 3 laps down for whatever reason, so at least he'll be out of the equation when we go back to racing. Here we go. Well, we've been nowhere in the race so far. With 6 laps to go, can we change that? With 2 tires. A little bit of contact from Morgan Shepherd. A little bit of contact from David Starr. Somehow managed to save it. I found once I start spinning, if I just drive into him, it'll be better than spinning out. Give us a few extra laps to work with here. So we work around the outside of Starr. And behind Lupton. To the outside. No drafting help at all. 5 to go. The problem is this track is not a handling track in the slightest for these Xfinity cars, so it's really, really hard to get a run going here. We're going to try it. And behind Yaley, they're 4 wide out in front. Getting a nice run on Carl Long here. That was just so dangerous. It was so dangerous to do that. But I did it. I didn't want to get slowed down. I almost killed myself doing it. We got 4 laps to go. It was my fastest lap of the race.
Stay low. Keep it right
We
there.
wreck Morgan Shepherd. No. Save it. He saved it. No caution. No caution. Morgan Shepherd's not going to like me, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. At least now we'll have an unfettered run into turn 3 here. So hopefully we can gain some big time, which we were able to do. Do we have the run though? To the inside of Carl Long. They're going to tell me that I'm speeding, but I'm not. 3 wide. So around the boss man. Underneath
Stay right there.
Garrett Smithley. 3 wide again.
Top is clear.
Just a little bit of brakes there behind Ray Black Jr. And behind him, try to get that run. 185, 187.
Still
Underneath him we go. And behind Stephen Light now. We know Light doesn't like us. That's going to make things slightly difficult for me. Gonna slice down to the inside. He's trying to block.
Slower,
As you do.
Slower.
So we get a good draft going here.
2 to go.
2 laps remaining to the inside of Stephen Light. And we will pass him. Ooh, that was so close again. I lost time. Not sure what the best course of action to get around Bubba Wallace would have been there, but that wasn't it.
Carlo.
We got block Ray Black. Didn't block Ray Black. He's going to lose it. Almost.
Carlo.
And you can just see what happens when you have to back out of it or you lose traction. You just lose so much
All
time.
right. Just 1 more lap to go.
Awful frustrating race here, I can tell you that. Again. Somebody count how many times I say I can tell you that in this video.
Low. Clear low.
Oh, as we get into Ryan Sieg's, screw him. Let's try to get a restart. Nope, he saved it. Never mind. Oh, the leader.
Caution is out.
Yeah! Caution. We did the Elliott Sadler thing. Do not pit. Alright, let's try to get this. Let's try to get this. It's NASCAR overtime. Gotta cross that overtime line.
Be smart out there.
Here we go.
Green flag. All right.
Racing again. Stephen Light gonna make things hard on me. 2 laps.
Careful.
And yeah, if a driver says you're the most dirty driver I've ever seen on the social media when we get back, that's absolutely legitimate, because that was dirty of me to wreck Ryan Sieg like that to get a green-white checker. But screw it. So Stephen Light is aggravated, so he's just going to drive away from me, which is fine. Get in here behind Dakota Armstrong. Shove Armstrong all the way down here. He's trying to go underneath the yellow line, or the white line. There's no out of bounds in Michigan. And so here we go.
Hold your line.
1 lap to go, and we're coming up to Joey Logano, which is concerning,
Clear low. Carlo.
considering our history at Pocono. Just 1 race ago, and in fact in this same video, as we just don't have anything. We just don't have anything. It's so slow. The car is so slow. Just absolutely try to send it off into turn 3. Big time draft behind Armstrong, down to the extreme inside, working up the track. Big draft on Kane, not going to happen. We'll be 26th.
Maybe next time.
Ay, ay, ay. So, 26th at Michigan. At least Majeski finished last. Screw Majeski. Hey, there's my car upside down. That's the story of this video, that's for certain. As we don't even cross the $1 million mark, we're nowhere close. We're still in playoff contention, so let's head back, get some hate on social media, and see what Cup team we're driving for. So, that's the end of this friggin' race weekend. Oh, well, at the moment, we're racing for Front Row Motorsports. But, Somehow I suspect that's going to be different when we get back. I don't know how front row. If Roush is a is a 4-star team, I'm not sure how front row is a 4-star team, especially at Michigan. But whatever. Let's take a look at this real quick, because you know we have to take a look at it. So Light, Majeski, Logano, Poole, Shepard is now a rival. I think he was not a rival to begin with, and we've got a lot of people mad at us. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That is so wonderful. Standings though. We'll toggle the series, toggle the standings. We're still 4th in the chase, so not too bad. Only 2 positions remain that need wins to get into the chase, though. So it's starting to get down to crunch time in terms of that. And it's nice that we have 2 wins because that's a nice cushion. And I think we can win a couple more races, so we should be good to get in the chase as long as we stay in the top 30 in points. So thank you guys so much for watching Cup Series at Michigan in the next video. Hope to see you there.